Welcome learners to Form 3 Mathematics. My name is Teacher Jane. Today learners, I would like to take you through binomial expansion. Let us look at this example. Number 1a. Expand a minus b raised to 6. A minus b raised to 6. Part b. Use the first three terms of the expansion in A to find the approximate value of 1.98 raised to 6. So let us look at it, learners. So you are told to expand A minus B raised to 6. Learner, how do you expand this? You go to the first term here, learner. You write A raised to the highest power, which is 6. You go to the second, you write A raised to 5. We are still dealing with our A. You start with A raised to the highest power, then the power goes decreasing towards the right. So decreasing by 1. A raised to 6, A raised to 5. Look at this, A raised to 4. A raised to 3. A raised to 2, A raised to 1, and finally A raised to 0. Let me write it like this for the sake of understanding. So you take the first term, you start with the highest power 6, and then it goes decreasing. The power goes decreasing to the right all the way to 0. Then you take your second term, learner. The second term is minus b minus b. Let it start with power 0. And you put it in brackets, into brackets because of this minus. So minus b raised to 0. It is multiplying the a that you had fixed there. Minus b raised to 1. Look at this. Minus b, learner, raised to 2. Minus b raised to 3. Minus b in brackets raised to 4. Minus b raised to 5, and finally minus b raised to 6. Good. From there, learner, you go to the mathematical table and you get what we call the coefficients from the Pascal's triangle of coefficients. You fix the coefficients. The coefficients, if you go to that triangle, when the power is 6, the coefficient will be 1, you fix it there, followed by 6, followed by 15, followed by 20, followed by 15, 6, and finally 1. Those ones you get from the mathematical table. Now, learner, we have how many terms when the power is 6? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 terms in our expansion. So we add. We fix our addition sign like that, and finally that way. There we are. We are expanding A minus B raised to 6, learner. So the thing that is now remaining is to simplify this. This is 1, A raised to 6, minus B raised to 0. Any number raised to 0, learner, is what? It is 1. Any number raised to 0 is 1. So this is 1 times A raised to 6. We are therefore left with A raised to 6 as our first term. As our first term. We go to the second one here, learner. Look at it. We can start with minus b raised to 1. Minus b raised to 1 is what, learner? Minus b raised to 1, it remains as minus b. So this term here will carry this minus sign. Minus b raised to 1 is minus b. So this minus, when you take it to the plus here, plus followed by minus, learner, is minus. So the second term will have a negative sign. So this minus comes here, plus followed by minus, learner, gives you minus. I hope it is clear. So you then say 6 A raised to 5 followed by b. That is our second term. We go to the third term, learner. Look at this. minus b squared. We start with minus. Minus squared learner is what? In other words, we are saying minus times minus is what? Minus times minus learner gives us plus. And therefore minus squared is plus. So this plus and this plus makes the term to have the positive sign. So plus followed by plus gives it plus. So this term will have plus, then you write 15, a raised to 4, then b squared, b squared. Good. We go to the third term here, learner. Look at it. Again, we start with minus b cubed. Minus cubed is what, learner? Maybe I can write here minus cubed is minus times minus times minus. I hope you can see that. Minus times minus, learner, gives you what? Plus. Plus times minus gives you minus. And therefore, learner, this term here, this fourth term here, will take a negative sign. In other words, positive followed by that minus will give you minus. And therefore, the fourth term is minus 20, a raised to 3, b what? B cubed. Remember to cube your b. There we are. We go to the fifth term here, learner. Minus raised to 4 is what? Again, you do the same thing. Minus times minus times minus times minus. This will give you positive. In other words, when minus is raised to an even power, the minus becomes positive. So this term here will carry a positive sign, sorry. So this is 15, so plus 15, a squared, b raised to 4. Look at that. This one, minus is raised to 5. If you do the multiplication here, you will find out that when minus is raised to an odd power, learner, odd power, the sign that you get is minus. So plus followed by minus, the whole sign becomes minus. And therefore minus 6, a was raised to 1, so we write it as a, b raised to 5. Look at that. Then finally, we come to this learner. This is 1. Okay, we can start with our sign here. Minus raised to 6. Minus raised to an even power, learner. Minus raised to an even power is positive. So this term here will be positive. Positive what? This is 1. A raised to 0 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Any number raised to 0 is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Then you talk of b raised to 6. So that becomes b raised to 6. I hope we have walked together in that journey of getting our expansion. So our expansion learner is like that. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms. You check on the signs and you make sure that everything is okay. So this is our expansion learner. Then we are told in part B, we are meant to use the first 3 terms. Check on this. You are meant to use the first 3 terms of the expansion in A to find the approximate value of this. We need just to use 1, 2, 3 terms up to here, up to there. Those 3 terms to estimate the value of this. So how do you go about this? You first come and write what you had in the beginning. This is a minus b raised to 6. You equate it to what you want to evaluate. Look at that, learner. You equate it to what you want to evaluate. This, you take this, you equate to what you want to evaluate. So if you look at this, learner, the powers are the same. So you knock them out. And so you are left with what? A minus b is equals to 1.98. So learner, what is your A and what is your B? Because once you get the value of A and the value of B, we just need to come and substitute them here in the first 3 terms to get the answer. So how do you get this? You come and write A minus B is equals to what? You ask yourself, learner, this decimal here to the nearest whole number is what? It is 2. It is 2. To the nearest whole number, it is 2. Then you subtract a small decimal to go back to this. What decimal is this? The decimal is that. 2 minus 0.02 learner gives you this. And therefore with that learner, take that point very seriously. Look at this. A minus B is equals to this. What is your A and B? What you do is that you first round off this to the nearest whole number, which is 2, and you subtract a small decimal there to go back to this. So in this case, learner, A is 2. Look at this. We just equate the terms. And your B is what? Your B is 0.02. Good. I hope you have understood that. Now, we now fix this in our 3 terms here. So we write our A here is raised to 6. So 2 raised to 6 learner minus our second term 6 in bracket. 6 in bracket. So there we are. So 6 in bracket what? 6 in bracket, our A is 2 raised to 5 and our B is 0.02. That is the second term. The third term here, learner, is plus what? 15. What is your A? Our A is 2. We are just referring to this term. Our A is 2 raised to 4 and our B is 0.02 raised to 2. We substitute correctly in the first 3 terms of our expansion. From there, learner, you now use a calculator. Using a calculator, you should get this. You should get 60.256 to the nearest 3 decimal places. Learner, go through this example that I've discussed with you slowly as you internalize the concept, and I hope that you will be able to get up to the answer. Otherwise, God bless you, learner, as you practice on binomial expansions. Bye-bye.